Right, welcome back to the channel. What we got going on today is just arm and shoulders. So we're gonna start with arms, then we'll move into shoulders. I don't know what I did to my shoulder the other day, but it feels a little bit weird. I think it's just a tight bicep. I ran into a couple of issues with the tight bicep this time last year. So I think that's just what it is, because every time I go heavy pressing and doing chest and biceps, my shoulders get a little bit inflamed. But nonetheless, we've been kind of laying off our shoulder a little bit all day, and it's kind of going away a little bit, but I think it's just a tight bicep. But nonetheless, we're gonna start with triceps. Gonna start off with this machine right here. I'm not exactly sure what these extensions are called, but kind of a single arm extension variant. And then we'll get into both arms, and then we'll do an overhead movement as well, or like another JM press like we've been doing. But we'll do 3 or 4 tricep movements, 3 or 4 bicep movements. Get into shoulders. Not gonna go crazy with shoulders. We're gonna do a couple feeler sets with like lateral raises and some overhead pressing. But if it aggravates the injury or whatever, we're not gonna do anything with it. A second warm up kind of feeler set. First movement, you're gonna spin it a little bit more time. Warming up. Working set. More or less the first feeler set. Feeler for the working weight. See, I want to try to get in as much unilateral movements as I can. Just gotta get really uneven, especially my arms. But majority, if not all, the bicep movements that we do is unilateral movements, because my bicep especially is what ends up getting uneven. Triceps, I don't really notice it too much, but try to do at least 1 or 2 unilateral movements just for balance, because I've got a really bad habit of just letting one side take over. But I'm just very conscious of it whenever I do my physique updates. And some people, just the way their muscles insert, are going to be a little bit uneven anyway. So that comes down to posing and hiding those flaws or unbalances. But you can also work around them as well. But anyway, these felt pretty good. We'll do another 2 sets here. Not going to go any heavier, but then we'll get into some straight bar push downs and then some JM presses. All right, next thing for triceps will just be a straight bar push down. So we get the warm up filler sets out, and then 2 or 3 working sets. With this particular movement, I tend to go pretty heavy with it. Currently, shoulders not acting up, so that's a plus. Last week we considerably heavy on these. Well, so we'll try to get the same reps and same weight, if not ever so slightly less, just because that shoulder twinge. But if we go heavier and that shoulder starts acting up, we'll just keep it a little bit lighter. Working everything, just so you're making sure that you're adding weight week over week. And if you're not, you need to look at the other variables in your training, like your diet or your recovery, and adjust accordingly, because you should at least be adding either some weight or some reps to each session. Of course, sometimes you won't, because taking a day off in itself for recovery will not be enough, but most times it will be. But that's when backing off a little bit would be necessary, like a deload or such. But that's what I thought would work for me. But anyway, we'll set this feels. Pretty good. Alright, let's do the last set here. Last super heavy set at least. We'll do a couple of back off sets just because this movement right here is going to work your whole triceps. So I'm okay with getting in a little bit of extra volume with it. But just like 2 super heavy sets and then maybe like 2 or 3 back off sets. But whenever you're going super heavy with it, it's super easy to do something like this. But something like this is just like a skull crusher. So whenever we do the back off sets, we're going to keep our arms just more in line with our body instead of like having them do this. But the goal of these is just go as heavy as possible. Kind of cheat the weight up there and then control the negative. But I just found that doing a style like this, going a little bit heavier on a smaller muscle, works pretty well for me. All right, do 2 sets with lighter weight. Let's see how this feels. All right, so we'll get down to this last set here, and we'll go into some JM presses. Either we'll use the chest press over there or the Smith machine back there. Now, JM press, if that inflames our shoulder a little bit or aggravates it, try and back off with it. Maybe do another pull down or an overhead movement, but I don't think it will, just because I'm pretty sure it is a tight bicep. So this movement in itself, moving the shoulder, won't do anything to it. But anyway, look at this last set here. Set up for this. All right. We'll do one more set here. The pump we got is already really good, so we'll do a good bit of sets on the straight bar extension, and then this should be just enough. And then we'll get on to some bicep movements and hope that doesn't do anything on our shoulder. But anyway, Gym's good, a bit busier than usual. I don't even want to talk loud if they're judging me, but I digress. Underneath these straps. We only really use straps for the dumbbell curl. We're not really using them for the incline curl, the preacher curl, but they're helpful for the dumbbell curl. Now, what I was doing whenever I had like super tight bicep issues last year was I would do biceps for my chest day, and that got some blood in the area, and it kind of took away that pain and made my presses feel pretty good. So you gotta do that same protocol, assuming this is a tight bicep issue, which I think it is, but like I'm probably just blowing it out of proportion, but I knew something would come up. But we were moving some weight last chest day. I was super happy about that. But it wasn't a chest day, I didn't think it was a leg day. But whew, haven't talked too much in this whole workout, just kind of getting through it. So I'll see you guys over there at the dumbbell curl. All right, we're gonna get some warm up and feeler sets in for dumbbell curl. And we'll see if we can't lift some heavy weight. Oh yeah. Two. Yeah. Yeah. And we'll only go up if we'll go up from here. All right, that first set felt pretty good. Basically with those, it's just kind of cheat the weight up there a little bit and then control the negative. I say it a lot, but you're always strong in that negative portion. So of course, be reasonable with it. Do a weight you can handle. But like 50s, it's weight I can handle, weight I can get up there. Do I slightly cheat it, swing up there a little bit? Yeah, but the negative is completely controlled. So we'll do 55s because those 50s, they were moving. We'll do 55s for a set or two, and then we'll keep backing off. Just because every now and then I'll do like a full workout or full bicep workout with just dumbbell curls, because this movement will work your entire bicep. Just like with triceps, this movement will work your entire tricep. So every now and then I'll just do tricep push down for a while for 6 to 8 sets, and then dumbbell curl for 6 to 8 sets. But here recently I've done that, or ever since I started filming everything I haven't done that, just because it's a little bit boring and some variety would be nice in the videos. But every now and then I'm not against doing that. So we'll keep talking and get a set with the 55s in. Yep. Boy. Two. All right, that first set felt pretty good. So do another set here and then do a couple of back off sets. And then behind the back curls, preacher curls, a little bit of shoulders, specifically lateral delts. But if it inflames whatever I got going on, we'll just kind of leave it alone for today. No big deal there. The priority today is arms. Priority for this next kind of growth season is arms and legs, because I want that kind of extremity dominant physique, to where it kind of makes my torso look very small. And I have that X frame. Not that my torso's got to be small, but I just want overdeveloped arms, overdeveloped legs, just because I like that kind of look. Get like a Niall Darwin look. So the priority will be arms and legs. So raising the volume on arms goes a little bit, and then changing up how we're training legs. But I hit legs on Saturday. Today's Monday, and I'm only just now feeling it, especially my abductor region. I'm like waddling around. So definitely did something right on Saturday, especially those deep leg presses. So watch that video if you haven't already. But that'll be the leg day that we run for this next block. And this will be the arm day that we run for this next block. I don't really change up my arm training too much just because I know it works. So, all right, let's get this set in. Come on. Come on. Yep. All right, no more straps, but we'll get a back off set going. Back off set, just a little bit lighter. Get as much reps as we possibly can. Shoot for like 8 to 10 each arm. So overall, the pump's really good. We had a half gallon of orange juice right before this and 2 Rice Krispies. So that's kind of normally what I have. Just quick soluble carbs. I sip on the orange juice throughout the day, but that's 770 calories and 150 grams of carbs. And I can't get rice down anymore, so that's kind of what I have in replacement of it. Is it the same? Not really, but I don't know what is going on, but I don't have the appetite that I did 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I'm just gonna start blending everything again. Not everything, but having 2 shakes a day, just of certain types of foods. But maybe it's like stress, cortisol, all that, but I'm just not going through food as how I would like to. I just don't have an appetite anymore. So I don't know what to do with that is, but we're gonna get this food down one way or another. And we've not even been bulking for that long. I'm pretty sure it's just like a cortisol and stress thing that's making me lose my appetite. So we're keeping up with all that. But we're gonna add in a couple of shakes because we kind of flatlined around 187 pounds. So we're staying right there. And we're still putting on strength, so that's a good sign. But I'd like to be able to get down a little bit more food. Get to at least like 195, hover around there for a little bit. Because my weight cap for classic physique and the NPC is 190. So 190 bulked, cut down, get stupid lean. They don't really do weight caps in the OCB, but I think I'm done with the OCB. The federation's interesting. So, but I'd like to get that natural pro card. So I say that I'm done with it, but I'm still probably gonna do another OCB show. For as long as we're natural, it's always an option. But I like to get into the NPC as soon as I can. But let's get it. Raise weight on that a little bit. Did feel pretty good. So that was the feeler set, warm-up set. So now we'll do 2 working sets. And then currently the cables are being used. So I'm okay with switching out the order of my biceps a little bit, but it's normally the same movements, just different orders. So no big deal there. But so we'll wait for those cables to open up. But until then, we'll do 2 sets of this preacher curl right here. And then that'll be it for arms. All right. Come on. All right, pump covers off. Definitely look a lot bigger. I've got a lot of people telling me I'm looking a lot bigger, so I guess that means we're doing something right. Now, at the moment, we're still natural. We've been natural our entire lives, but I mean, it's like every day I'm getting more and more tempted to blast something. Not even blast it. I don't think that I'll need to blast anything to get a good response from it, but in terms of what we're trying to do, we're gonna have to take something eventually. And the main thing that stopped me from taking it, that stuff's expensive, man. And the food itself is expensive too. I spend like about $500, $600 on groceries a month. That's kind of on the low end for most bodybuilders. So I'm eating a ton, and then you add on the PEDs to that, it'll be a lot. So at the moment, we're natural. We'll probably be natural until, because I'm not even 20 yet. So putting it off for as long as I possibly can, building a good base, because not even at the natural limit. Natural limit, I don't think we'll hit that anytime soon. But overall, I mean, we're still making progress in the gym, lifting some heavier weight, getting bigger, getting noticeably bigger. So I'm okay with putting off the PEDs for as long as I possibly can. But man, it's tempting. But once again, the only thing holding me back is just stuff's expensive. I digress though, I digress. We'll get this last set in and hope we don't rip our bicep off the bone. That's another thing I'd be worried about if I start taking stuff. I'd be very, very worried about getting injured all the time. So, but I'm not gonna take anything until I have like a coach telling me what to do, because I'm not just gonna like start putting chemicals into my body without knowing exactly what it's gonna do to me. So that's another thing, I need a coach. But at the moment, we're still self-coached and we're still making progress, so you can't really beat that. Can't beat that, and I don't think that we'll be at a standstill anytime soon. But in terms of like the big stuff like diet and PEDs, I want to get a coach for it, because I can train all day long, make progress at the gym, but diet and all that, that's what I need some specialized help with. I digress. We'll get one more set here, and then we'll get some behind the back curls, and then we'll get some shoulders. Actually, I'm like very sure that that was a tight bicep, because now that we got some fluid into our biceps, this shoulder twinge is ever so slightly going away. So we'll see how it feels whenever we start pressing, but we're not gonna push it too hard. All right. Let me just get this bench out of the way real quick. And then get these shoulder width. And then we'll just bust out the warm-up set super quick, real quick like. I don't like that at all. Is that even? Yep. The bottom from Linkin Park going the entire workout. That's probably the only good new song that they've got. I think they should have just left it alone and did nothing else with the band. But they have one good song from the From Zero album. Last week it was Avenged Sevenfold. This week I guess it'll be Linkin Park. I don't like Linkin Park that much, but this one's pretty good. Bunch of movie scores too, but you guys don't get that super niche playlist. The main one that I have is in my link in the bio, so if you guys are interested in that. But if I wasn't so afraid of getting a copyright, I'd put some music over this while I'm doing my sets, but I'm pretty sure that a copyright's not gonna help me grow. And I'm not even at 1,000 subs yet. Pump check. Ooh. And this will be the last set here. Get another one, just 'cause I'm a huge fan of the natural lighting. All right, so we finished off with that last part of biceps. We had a physique update right after we get shoulders, but we'll just see how the shoulders feel. And if I'm not feeling it, we'll just kind of back off for the day. No big deal. See, we're just going super light on these. So it's not a rotator cuff thing or anything like that. It's just a tight bicep. And because that movement in itself is not doing anything. So, which makes sense. So we'll rehab it a little bit, get some mobility work in, lay off it a little bit, but it's not a big deal. Now, if I knew there was a tight bicep last year, then I would have got over that injury a lot quicker, but we still made a good bit of progress last year nonetheless. But pump's really good. This natural lighting's really cool. Makes it look really good. But we'll still get the physique update in the normal place. Get a little bit of clips in for TikTok. But super happy with the price we're making on there. TikTok and Instagram, almost at 1,000 on Instagram, which is great. So just got to get all of those people to come over here and watch my videos. So I'm not really trying to sell anything, I just make videos. But I digress. All right, we'll take a little bit. We're gonna set the 40s, and that's it with lateral raises, or at least dumbbell variant. And then we'll see how one frontal press feels. And then if that doesn't feel the greatest, we won't do any more. We'll just do some more lateral raises, then some rear delt movements. But if not, we'll just do a pose physique check. That'll be it for the video. Somebody was using the other 40, and I'm not waiting, so we'll do 45s. This is actually a really good shot. Nice angle, nice lighting. And I like the color of the Techno gym machines, and all colorful like any other gym. But anyway, these feel pretty good. So it's just a tight bicep issue that we're dealing with here. But we'll get 2 more working sets here done, and then we'll do another lateral raise movement and then finish with rear delts. And that's it for the workout. I don't think we'll record any of it just because I gotta get up and out of here soon, get my last meal in. What we're gonna start doing is just adding in 1 or 2 shakes throughout the day, just because I don't know what it is, but my appetite's just not where it was. And I think it's just like a stress thing, cortisol thing, that's making me not want to eat as much. But nonetheless, we're gonna get the food down one way or another. And pump's really good, pre-workout. I mean, like we sip on orange juice throughout the day, just 1.5 gallon of orange juice. And then 2 Rice Krispies pre-workout, just quick soluble carbs, you know, that basic stuff. This is nothing crazy, but that alone gives me a pretty good pump. And that's for pre-workout, just whatever I can afford or have on me at the moment. But our lifts have been going pretty good, really good here recently. Lifted a ton of weight the other day. Super happy about that, but still got to be smart about it and not get injured and try to get as big and strong as possible for this next couple of weeks. I don't know when the next show is, but it'll be probably pretty soon. But we're not really focused on the show too much at the moment. We're focused on getting as big as possible and as strong as possible, not getting injured. But I'm pretty happy with where our physique is at the moment. Let's get this next set. Yeah. See, I say that I do shoulders and arms on the same day because it's quicker, but we've still already been here for like 2 hours. It's no big deal. All right, let's see what we look like. As planned at the moment is Oppenheimer score. Pretty hard too. But for as much as we weigh, I'm pretty surprised we still have some visible abs, but not complaining. Very aesthetic, I feel very aesthetic at the moment. Everything else popping. All right, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it was insightful. But all my other socials are in the link in the bio. If you're from the social, in the link in the bio. I appreciate you guys. Tomorrow will be a back day. We'll try to deadlift a little bit, assuming that the soreness in our legs go away. But I feel pretty good.